the truth about our thoughts or what we think. But in actual fact, the truth of both of us, this singular human thing, or this being, nothingless thing, both have the same fear. Both are frightened of being discovered. Let's look at it from this human side. We live in this foreverness fear, a constant fear of realizing our truth. We don't want to go back, you see. We don't want to find out what we were before. Because in our core being, we know what we really are. And for now, this human state feels as if it's better, or it's more exciting to participate rather than to be what we assume, what mind assumes is this emptiness state, where we simply are an observer with no ability to interact or to simply experience. Because without the human body, we are what we call dead. Even though we are not dead, we are another source of life. We are this creator of our own human existence. We prefer this human existence to what we really know we are. That's why only a few who are desperate to end this non-discovery seeks the true self out. You see, in this non-discovery from the human state is, we know as this human state that at some point we think, or we know, when this body ends, we are going to return to what we originally are. Now, this deep inside core knowing is the truth that we don't want to face yet. In fact, we don't want to face it at all. If we can continue to find things, establish things that can prolong our human life so that we can be a human form forever and ever and ever, well, that is the most wondrous thing, to be here as a form, as a human, for the rest of time. So we dare not face this awakening, this enlightenment, because of this fear that we may dissolve, we may disappear, we may turn into that original state, and this body may be taken away with us for a punishment that we have not fulfilled our role on this earth. And that is actually very important to each individual, to understand that to awaken and to become enlightened when you're not really desperately it's not calling you, then forget it, you see. Continue trying to evolve and trying to find ways of curing and prolonging this thing we call death. This realization of what this body and many bodies have experienced of full enlightenment seems to be that yes, they still exist, so it cannot be true, because before I became this body I know what I was, and I was not this body, you see. But the whole object is to leave this body, to have a glimpse of what you really know you were, and to realize, the realization is that you can remain within this body, and it does not matter about evolution. It does not matter how long this body and mind now continue to operate on this earth, because the realization is that there is no end. The free will and choice happens when you are out of the body, and you can appear as many forms, bodies. You are, as Deepak Chopra says, you are already now trying to recreate your next life. See? But not with a mind. Not with a mind in the head. With a mind from the heart. So we, as this human state, want a permanent state that can remain here on earth forever. Now, does this theory attract you? Yeah? Does this attract you? You know, what are you going to do for all these hundreds and thousands of years with the same partner, with the same children, with the same job, maybe moving jobs, experiencing the same thing, constantly trying to stop this body dying, constantly, because you see, nature is what you're fighting against. To evolve against nature is impossible. So the whole of this time as a human, you would be actually trying to find ways, spending the whole life that you want to live here on earth forever and ever, amen, worrying that one day you may lose. Constant battle, you see, constant suffering. This is why this body ages in the first place. It ages quicker because of worry, stress, concern. Something is about to die. It may not be you, it may be someone close to you. Your ideas, your imagined success may die. Everything that you believe and hope that will come true is going to die. So we are simply hoping that through our disciplined, organized system of pretending this body is real, also advertising this, and simply praying that one fine day it will transform itself through this belief, this effort of evolving, that reality is when we are here forever as this human state. And it's the only way out of being a nothing, our original stateless state, our original peace, our original tranquil love, pure. Everything is pure, you see. Oh yes, the enlightened one says it's pure, it's pure, it's pure, it's pure. But pure means simply like pure like water. Yeah, pure love. Yeah, it means you love someone really, really much, you know. This pure has no expression, no emotional, beyond all senses, beyond love, beyond, it is so immense, it is so immaculate. It's not about the words that we use. this state is worldless. So through all this effort, deep down inside, in the core of our life itself, we know that what is supposedly taking place is not an event. This is not a real incident. Because truth can only be truth as one thing. Truth has to be non-moving. Yeah? Truth has to be non-moving. Otherwise it becomes flawed. And this flaw will change because it has to change, because it is ever-present changing consciousness that gives life to this human state. So to overcome this is to deny it. Let's deny that, yeah, I know what I really am, but I'm going to deny it, you know. So now I'm going to use countless ideas, concepts, thoughts, and then allow mind to bring them into action, form, through ways of invention, experiencing. And if we continually ignore behind us, within us, like these sages advocate every day, they become boring, you see, they become boring. If we ignore them and believe that all these thoughts that we think we are wonderful at, we can actually imagine that these inventions, these creations, will eventually take us to a creation, a completeness of permanence. We can remain here as a permanent form with no effort. We don't have to do anything. The funny thing is, through enlightenment, that's what the being does. It experiences being born. It experiences the body dying, the body born, the body dying. It experiences experiences. It experiences experiences within experiences. It experiences everything. But it's permanent. It's permanent. The being is permanent, you see. The being side is permanent. It's the human side. The human side that we're trying to keep and evolve. See, we're tricking ourselves. Or something is tricking us. Mind is tricking us to say, don't go back. You know what it's like when you go back. And mind puts in a movie to say what it's like when you go back through imagined thoughts. So now the truth that you know inside in your deep core, this being knows, has been superseded by this human being, this human mind, to say, let's rewind and I'll show you what it's like when you go back. You are dead. You are nothing. You are before all this. What's the point? You know, it's boring here sometimes. What's it going to be like when you've got no legs, no arms, no actions, no senses, no emotions? But deep in your core you know that this mind is fooling. The sense that you are before becoming a form is a truly immaculate sense that supersedes all this emotions and senses. We have arrived here in this body through our own doing to experience something smaller than what we are, something lesser than what we are. And something in the mind says, or something in the mind kids us on to say we like it. Really, we don't like it. We enjoy it. But we don't want this forever and ever. And we don't want death, you see? And we don't want birth. And we don't want reincarnation. It's pushing you away from what you already are. Infinite, beyond loving, pure life. the experiences of being before birth and after death are still experiences. Not same experiences, similar, but with no body. The body that you truly are is colossal. It's fathomless. It has no boundaries. You are a slice of the universe, a microfiche of the universe. What happens on a negative film? Yeah? When you put it in this fluid, this chemical you can call consciousness, you have pictures evolving. You have pictures evolving. And these pictures look as though they were once living. They're still living. They still exist. They're still there. They cannot not exist. So this microfiche of the size that you are, how many negatives, you see? How many images on your one singular negative you? How many negatives do you have on your one single you, this slice of this universe and galaxy and cosmos? A slice of this mirror, this unimaginable, no substance, stateless, loving, pure, glowing mirror. This towering, immense love. And you are that. This evolution of permanent human form state is the driving force from mind that keeps itself. Remember, body is mind, everything is mind. Everything in this human state is made up of mind. This driving force, mind, keeps itself from stopping and facing up to realizing what it truly is, or what you truly are, or what we truly are. Let's face it, as humans we're great. We're brilliant at hiding from what we really are. Even sometimes we know that what we are can give birth to boundless universes. We give birth to boundless universes in our dreams. We can imagine that we are anything in our dreams. We can dream ourselves into a dreamlike existing state that lasts forever. We can dream ourselves into statue state. We can dream ourselves into any state. Mind says yes, but it's not real, it's only a dream. Your body has boundaries. Your body has boundaries, but you have no boundaries. We really truly know that what we are is of no state. And we, through a kind of conscious belief, an ingrained belief, think we can create this permanent state by denying we are no thing, nothing. We are no thing, we are nothing, into magically changing whole of life's purpose by stopping this temporary, short idea, with the hope of kind of transforming it into some sort of statue, a statue-like object. You see, sculpture is one of 1,000 ideas to create something timeless and permanent. This is what we do. We constantly try and find something that is timeless, that can be permanent and stay, and that has a fixed state. There's no change or movement there. All of our suffering, due to fear. Not the fear of death, not a conceptual idea of a living experience or an action. Not any of these fears, but simply the fear of remembering. Fear of remembering, recollecting. I think I heard one Buddhist monk say, our problem is we try and remember. But remembering is a mind-based memory. Recollecting is realizing what we truly are. It's a forgetfulness, you see. But what we truly are, beyond this human state, there's no bearing, there's no real interest on what we believe we can be. We can be something great as this human state, you see. We can be the most powerful race on the earth. And very soon we will be trying to invade planets, and we will take over the universe that we already are. Oh my, so funny. It's so amusing. We have even created death. This mind that humans own has created death. Because it's created a self, a singular person identity, a self-mind. Why has it done that, you see? You could think that's negative. But if you believe you have a singular mind, then you have the capabilities, the tools to use this singular mind, to overcome it, go through it, and return to this enlightened, true, pure, infinite, spatial, universal, cosmos, boundless, translucent, omnipotent, omnipresent state. So how come some want to have experienced awakening and enlightenment? How come, if all humans are really geared for trying to evolve and remain as this state, some have wanted to go back? There's no going back, you see. As this state you cannot move. Moving is taking place within you. Just like the emotions in your body, in your senses. Everything is moving within you. Most who have awakened, and I can advocate this one, most who have wakened up to this joke-like hoax, not about the human state. The human state is an absolutely wonderful state, but the idea that we are here to continue and evolve through a fear of not really recognizing what we truly are, because of we think it's going to be better, is simply seen through. But it's not organized, planned practices. It is a stumbling through our ignorance. An awakened and enlightened one may appear wonderful and great, but it is through their ignorance, their total ignorance, and their total need to evolve as a human and not do it quick enough, because our original state says we are greater and this human state needs to be done quicker. I need it done quicker before this body dies. It's total ignorance from one who previously, before awakening and enlightenment, was. And the knowledge that's spouted, even in this knowledge, is not to say, oh, I'm a wonderful saint, I'm a wonderful guru, I know everything. It's to explain our stupidity. The stupidity, not the saint, the sage, or the experienced enlightened one's stupidity, but the whole of humanity's stupidity. This one has went so far. This one has stumbled. This one has asked for some answers. And this godliness, this Brahman, this absolute, says, here are the answers. See if anyone is going to believe you. See if anything is going to take it on. If it does, then you may be rewarded. If not, you're just simply going to go through this whole thing the same as any other human form. There's dreams that I also had, this body had, of a continued form existence. If we could evolve, we can prolong life. We can, even if it's not for us, for our children. It's totally shattered. This dream is totally shattered through a freak enlightenment, a freak sudden realization of the truth that we are. Simply awakening up to the dream of the individual that is dreaming the same dream as every other individual. That something inside in this mind head thought it could control everything. Let's control everything. You know, the power, I need power first. If I can get power first, I can control everything. And for the goodness of humanity, for the goodness, not for the destruction of humanity, I can control it and make it into something real, something permanent. We have been fooled into believing rulers and governments and politicians and conspiracy theories and everything are doing it for their own good. They're doing it because they think they know better and they think they know quicker. And they also may stumble upon some sort of freak enlightenment due to their ignorance of trying to do what is unnecessary. The only necessary thing here for a human is to simply be here. Be here. And not have any purpose. Simply be here and experience this wondrous beauty, this wondrous earth, this wondrous experience of breathing and loving and moving and merging with everything. You merge with space every day. You merge with your body every day. You merge with your thoughts every day. You merge with your breath every day. You move from this stateless state. You move from this placeless place. But there's no movement, you see. Consciousness is moving within you. You are this space, and consciousness is moving within you. You are this placeless place where everything moves within you. You are merging with everything that comes through you. You are not doing anything. You're simply being. So it's no human's fault. Because we, as this human state mind, have tried to avoid this truth and will continue to deny this truth until all is fully awakened. But you don't have to stumble upon this. You don't have to stumble upon anything. Wakening up is simply to see that you are part of a witness. You are part of this witness that is already enlightened, already nothing. Already nothing. You are already nothing. Appearing as something. This realization, everything is being moved through what you are. This thing that you are looking from this thing that you are. You cannot see yourself. There is no mirror big enough to see the mirror. There is no mirror great enough to see the mirror. So the mirror creates a reflection through light, through consciousness, through this meeting. And what it portrays is the whole cosmos. You are looking at yourself as the whole cosmos. Because the state of the mirror knows what it is, but cannot experience what it is without reflecting through conscious movement. Conscious movement creates conscious time. Conscious time creates conscious pulse. A pulse that starts to beat now, you see. This infinite, singular, no end, no beginning pulse starts to beat, to experience itself. Every moment it experiences itself. Every moment, this one moment experiences itself as a singular moment. in a different time, in a different costume, in a different planet, in a different temperature, in a different experience, in a different sex. You see? This is simple wakening up, with no stumbling, with not being faced up with this confrontation with this Holy Spirit, who is angry at your foolishness. But through its anger, it can say, well, this one can be a messenger. This is the type of punishment of one who sits in satsang as this master. It's constant, you see. There is no breaks. Constantly this messenger. Constantly sitting in front of a laptop, sitting in front of audiences. Being beautifully punished for seeing the most beautiful thing. But in the most embarrassing situation. Slowly, very slowly, your knowledge that you thought was important, this mind knowledge of trying to evolve, trying to improve, trying to do things wonderfully, trying to save lives, trying to do everything, prolong life with new medication, all this knowledge should slowly crumble. And you can be at peace then, you see. You don't have to be awakened and see angels and gods and voices and all these phenomenal mind lucid things. But you won't take the word of another, you see. That's your genius. That is your greatness, you see. You're not here to take the word of another. You're here to do it by yourself, you see. I'm here to do it by myself. I've been giving this, I appear as if I'm taking a part of this universal mind, and I've taken it and I'm going to use it for whatever I want to use it for. If you want to use it for continuation of this ridiculous idea of trying to create yourself into a statue, then so be it. If not, you can use it to simply see what you already are. Simply, we are no thing. We are infinite. We have no life as such, but not life like this life. We are beyond this life. We are bigger, greater than life. And when this body goes, we will return to that stateless state that we can experience here right now. So through this continuation, we can make some sort of balance, some sort of Buddha nature, by simply not trying to fit in to this world of constant trying to be here through this fear of dying. I have to do something before I die. I have to do something worthwhile. That's the mind. That's the ego mind. I. U.G. Krishnamurti's theory says, when discussing the human state, he says, we are one biological species, trying to keep ourselves as this state of species, knowing that deep down in our side that this body will end regardless of how much we try and what we do. This body has only one lifespan. But we hope and we pray, and we can, through other ideas of death, keep these states going. Keep inventing death, keep inventing all these negative things, these false things, these horrible things, to try and keep us to stop evading these things, to evade these things, so that we can force ourselves into this suffering, depression situation when we can't do it. We can't do it, you see. That's when you stumble upon this enlightenment, when you can't do it. You say, you know what? Bullshit. I want to die. You know? Right. Stumble upon this, my son, my daughter. Let's see if this is what you can remember. And everything is revealed. As a human race, we should be able simply to experience without wanting, needing, desiring, hoping, believing, praying. But we can't, you see. So this stumbled upon enlightened fool says, you can see the unimaginable that you are. You can experience your true state. But you cannot really experience your wholeness in the sense that in this body it is far too small, meek, and this body would have to dissolve into a deathly state. And I don't want to do that, you see. Not yet. Not yet. So I say take everything very slowly and realize that what you are is beyond what you think you are. And that's a very simple message, a very simple way of saying nothing starts as you, and you come from this nothing that you already are. So whatever is here now has evolved from you. Are you God? Who really cares about this, you see? And when you think God is separate, you're going to keep looking, you see, keep trying, keep seeking. When you think you are God, you're going to feel really stupid and not fit in. So you ignore this word God. Only evaluate yourself. Whether it's in human form, observe yourself. Whether it's to go and try and be just peaceful, empty in this ever-changing world, then be yourself. Be what you are. Empty, loving, infinite, kind space with no boundaries, no end, no beginning. Nothing is here without you, and everything is you. Namaste.